I spent the last 2 years secretly building my dream home, and now we're only 1 week away from moving in, so I've been spending every day in the backyard building my dream garden to match it, and I'm almost finished. To catch you up, I made a fun play area for my kids with this giant piece of turf, and then I thrifted the dreamiest fountain, so I made it the whole center point of the garden and created all of these rock walkways around it and lined them with a bunch of pretty plants. And the rocks don't mix with the turf because I actually glued them down. Then I built these 2 big garden beds and made an arched trellis between the 2, so one day I can walk under a whole canopy of bougainvillea. So now I'm working on the final section of the garden, which is a picnic area with a pergola. I started by laying diamond papers down because obviously I love a diamond pattern. The papers were actually a last minute thought that I'm so glad I did because once I added the rock, I was obsessed. So the next step was to get supplies for the pergola, and I don't think I've ever built anything this large, so I was feeling kind of intimidated, but however it turns out, at least it's going to be cheaper than buying one. So my husband and I set these posts super deep into the ground and added concrete for extra support. And the string is supposed to help keep them level, but I'm going to be honest, there is mostly eyeball leveling going on here. So I made all of the angled cuts for the tail ends of the rafters while my husband helped stain them, but we had to call for some help getting the larger pieces on because they were so heavy. And he seriously thought we could do this part ourselves. I would have 100% got a concussion. And then I wanted to turn with the stain sprayer because it looked so fun, but I oversprayed onto my favorite pair of shoes that they don't even make anymore, and I ruined them, so it's not fun. So I actually sat out on the rest of the staining process because I did not want to go anywhere near that thing. But I did, of course, help get these rafters up and attach them with brackets. These rafters are slightly shorter, and we could rest them on the top, so we were able to do this part ourselves. I did think they looked a little sparse, though, after the first set, so I added more rafters in between, and it looked so much better. I still want nothing to do with this sprayer, and this is my husband's favorite thing to do anyway, so he happily stained the picnic table, and I planted a bunch of lantana plants around the paper, which in hindsight was probably not the best idea because the bees love them, and this is a picnic area. So we'll see how it goes, but I can't freaking believe we just built this. Like, what the heck? I just whipped up a pergola? I think this is my favorite area in the garden. But there's just a few small details I need to add to complete my dream garden, so you'll have to come back for the final reveal.